And welcome everybody to the Stars of Destiny podcast. I think we are on episode number. Where are we on, Luca? Where are we on? Episode number 4? We're on 4?
Yeah.
Okay, number 4. So we are on episode number 4. You guys seem to enjoy the last episode, and you guys are responding awesomely. Like, just the reaction of everybody's like excited to hear us back talking about Suikoden and all that stuff. But I am one of your hosts, Marco Flores from Nerd in the Bay. On the other end of that is Luca Blight. Luca, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. So the reason why we're recording right away, actually, because there was some time passing before we were thinking about doing the next one, is this news have been popping up, and then everybody's reacting to it right now. Yoshitaka Murayama made some news about announcing something, right? And this became the announcement of Eiyuden Chronicles, 100 Heroes Strong, if you go by translation. So it's basically what we're hearing about and what we're seeing, like from the news sites and all that stuff, is basically a successor to Suikoden. Since as of right now, the thing that's going on with Suikoden is that Konami has the IP. They're not really willing to do anything about it right now. So Yoshitaka Murayama decided to bring some of the old team back together again, and to basically open up a new studio. I believe it is called what is it called really quick? Rabbit and Bear Studios. So they're basically an independent studio, just trying to kind of like see if the fan base is still there for Suikoden, and also two, since there's this thing that's going on with the IP itself, well, I guess why not kind of break out of that struggle, and then just make something that's kind of brand new but has like the inspirations of Suikoden. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be looking back, kind of like let me see, going back to the Yoshitaka's Twitter, where he created a Twitter sometime this year, around I think like March 2nd. So he's like, hey, I'm on Twitter. I have some things that I'm going to be announcing sometime soon. So actually, I'm gonna pop this up really quick. Luca, really quick, like, where were you when you were hearing about the news of Eiyuden announcing?
I was actually at work, and all of a sudden, like, my phone just started exploding
blew up, right?
From Twitter and like Facebook, and like everyone's just like, yo, man, have you seen this? And I'm like, okay, what is it now? Because every time someone has directed me towards something that's Suikoden related, it's one of two things: completely fake, or it's an April Fool's. And I'm like, all right, it's not April Fool's, it's got to be fake, right? I go and I look in this, and I'm like, oh my god, it's not, right? And then I start looking into it more and more, and I'm like, wow, I was like, it actually looks pretty good, right? And I was like, it kind of looks like they're using the Octopath Traveler game engine there. And I'm like, wow, this looks really great. I was like, when is this going to be released? Kickstarter. Horrible.
So right now, that's where they kind of stopped of the information that's coming out right now. So for me, on my end, I was getting caught up with like, oh, something's happening, somebody's announcing something. And I don't really follow the main team that bad, like that carefully, that closely. So just trying to get reacquainted on like who created Suikoden itself, and then like the team members that were there. So getting reacquainted with that, found Yoshitaka's Twitter, so started following. Right now there's like there's a tweet from somebody, Galitsky, saying, "Where is Luca?" And there's a picture of a pig right there. So there's a little bit of shout out for you. And then
I'm right here, man. I'm right here.
And then Yoshitaka retweeting a bunch of tweets about Luca Blight and pigs. So then that was like around March 5th. So that and then he's talking about, and then he's retweeting other people, just sharing the love of Suikoden. Why we're all here in that sense. So moving forward towards let's see. I'm kind of trying to look for the announcement now. So I think during this time,
it should have been a red flag to all of us that Murayama was like all of a sudden active again, and that guy has he's done like 2 projects over the last 15 years. So it should have been a red flag to us, like he was active again. But
Yeah,
I guess none of us really caught on.
Right, exactly. Because like the last thing he did was Alliance Alive, which was like I believe a Switch. No, it wasn't a Switch game. It was like 3DS.
I think it was one of the I think it might have been a Vita or something like that. Okay, I don't know.
Like a 3D.
I don't remember.
Like a 3DS, something
like that. Some sort of handheld.
Right. So yeah, he made that kind of getting the inspiration of Suikoden, and so then that did its thing, and you're able to get like a remastered edition that is out there right now. I've yet to get it. I still need to get it just to get just check it out. In that sense. So let's see. So moving forward, March 10th, and during this time he's jumping on radio shows, kind of taking like fan related questions, asking about Suikoden and like maybe the inspirations, the Easter eggs, all that sense, and like listening and airing some like soundtrack radio where they just aired like all the soundtrack of like Suikoden itself. So it was pretty cool just to hear that back and just having your fond memories about like the games you played. And let me see, still looking forward. March 25th, still talking about a bunch of Suikoden stuff. So like if you're following heavily, then you're like, what's going on? So let's see, still trying to look more Luca Blight stuff, of course. Let's see, July 24th, I believe July is around July, right? Because that's where we're at right now. July 24th, 25th, or 23rd, he starts to announce something. And I'm looking for the tweet itself, but it's in Japanese too, so like I'm not able to read. But on July 24th exactly, it says, let me go ahead and click on this tweet, and let me check really quick. Yep, showing that. Translate it. So it says, as a new project for me and my friends, we will be creating a new RPG titled 100 Heroes. But then also mentions Eiyuden Chronicles. My friends and I will be working on a new RPG called Eiyuden Chronicle. It says chronic in this tweet, but it's okay. So that was the tweet. It blows up. Everybody's super hyped and excited, and everybody's chomping at the bits, like, what is this game? What is this game? And you're wanting to know as much information as possible. So the news sites have started, putting it through the the rotation, like, hey, new Suikoden like type game is coming out there, and coming from Bear and Rabbit Studios. Let's see. So what we know as of right now, what we know about this game, I'm gonna.
What I think is interesting is they're bringing back a lot of the Suikoden style. Like races and stuff. Like you see a guy that looks very Cobalt like, right? He almost looks like a more decked out version of Gen. Yeah. And then I've heard confirms that there's going to be like elves involved, and there's going to be war, just like it's Suikoden, and something that's supposed to captivate the audience, story wise, which is exactly what Suikoden did to us. Right. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. So like what they went down in terms of like mechanics and such, they went down the idea of having 100+ heroes. They said 100 heroes exactly. They may or may not have 108. We'll see. Maybe that might be kind of stepping on the toes of Suikoden with the IP of having 108. We'll see. We don't know yet, since all this news is like just pretty much fresh in everybody's like minds right now. So 100+ heroes. There is a castle and fortress building system, of course. When you getting more of your heroes coming together, recruiting them, the castle becomes bigger, unlocking maybe more rooms, more areas, that sort of thing. So the castle mechanic is there too. Let me see.
So what I was hoping for is that this becomes a success. And I'm hoping that kind of opens the eyes of Konami, like, hey, look, there's still a fan base here. They still appreciate the creators. They still, appreciate everyone that's involved in Suikoden. Yeah. And maybe, kind of prove to them, like, hey, man, like, we deserve to see the ending of this story. Even if it's just one game, man. Even if they don't get to wrap it all up. Like, just wrap it up. You know what I mean? Let us see the ending at least.
Yeah, for sure.
we started off, we fell in love with a bunch of characters, and like they kind of diverged from the main story after 3 quite a bit. And I think I speak for all of us when I say I want to know how this ends.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. But like at the same time, for me, at the same time, just the no response out of all these years from Konami, and like I feel like they know that people want like, you know, a closing to the story arc, the saga of Suikoden, whether you started like a brand new series or whatever. People want to see this end, and people want to see more of it, and it's frustrating to that end, because like they know but they won't push it, or you know, go for it or greenlight it. It's so frustrating in that sense.
Yeah, the you know, profits come into it, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I think maybe what this team is doing is proving that they're still desirable, right?
Yeah.
Like this still can work. The problem is because it's a Kickstarter, you know, like I've been talking to a lot of people over Twitter, over, you know, Reddit, Facebook, all this sort of stuff, and what I'm seeing is like they can't.
So when we were talking about the systems, I was looking around, and I'm still looking around. It's actually hard. I was reading it, a bunch of it, when it was around, and I was able to find them, and people linked me and all that stuff. Now when I'm trying to literally look for it, I can't find it anywhere. So from what I understand, like I said, 100 characters. We don't know if it's going to be 108. That's gonna be up to Yoshitaka, or if he's gonna do like 107, whatever. And then what's next is castle building, which, you know, if again, you're familiar with your Suikoden mechanics, more characters you get, the bigger the castle becomes, and your fortress and all that stuff. Also another thing that I read off of a lot of interviews, I read a bunch of the interviews that they were having when all this news was coming out, was you know, they were mentioning about party systems and all that stuff. So they said that it's going to be the 6-member party of your usual Suikoden fanfare, that sort of thing. And then you saw it on the teaser clip as well too. So 6 party system. The thing that they kind of stuck out to me, what they were mentioning, was you're able to send parties out to like missions, and maybe do like, you know, like kind of like what's the word, Final Fantasy Tactics, where you can send out one of your guys out, and then, you know, they do the task, and they tell you whether they succeeded or not, and maybe you get like, you know, experience, gold, potch, whatever the money currency is going to be called. You know,
so they didn't
equipment.
Suikoden Tactics.
They're doing a Suikoden Tactics, Rhapsodia style type thing. Yeah, so that's what they're gonna do in terms of like having separate parties and sending them out. So that's pretty cool. Kind of makes them like kind of the other characters in your entire like game gonna be more like active in that sense, rather than just hanging out at base and maybe giving you the same lines in that sense. You know, as you talk to them like twice or 3 times, just to get different dialogue in that sense. They mentioned one thing which I want to bring up. So they were talking about the combat aspect in terms of the party, like we were mentioning about the party, you know, mechanics of it, and this is much more interesting, because, you know, in Suikoden, like, you have your party members kind of like on a flat plane, and you know you have your people in the front, you have your people in the back. That's either long range or mid range, and then, you know, you do your battles, and that's that. So what they're talking about here is terrain modification, terrain making a bigger difference in these battles than they did before and back in the days. So it sounds like what we may start off as like a flat terrain, whether spells actually matter, where it's say like you do earthquake or something that sense, and then like the terrain moves to where, you know, some of the ground is upper level now, but you still have some of the soldiers or your characters doing lower, like, you know, at the forefront stuff. And then you saw this, as of right now, we're replaying the teaser sequence of the announcement. So you see some of the people that are in the back doing, you know, they're in the like higher ground, doing attacks, whether they're mid range or long range. You have people in the forefront that's much closer, that is able to do their things as well. So they're talking about like terrain, like adjusting and all that stuff. Like with Luca, like any thoughts on that in terms of like the party system as of right now, that what we know, and like the terrain adjustment and all that stuff?
Well, I love the idea of the terrain changing. That's fantastic. Just adds into, it brings a modernness to the 6-party system.
Yeah.
Right. Some people might be a little tired than just the turn-based stuff. So as like Final Fantasy VII did with their remake, and as with like Final Fantasy 15 and stuff, the battle system, it made you moved around in your terrain, right? Like things changed, like just everything changed along with it, and it made it just, the area was just so much easier to soak in, and you just loved it. So I think that's what this is going to do with combination of that. Going back to what you were saying about the release on the platforms, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC is what's being talked about.
Right.
So just want to throw that out there. Not a guarantee for any of those, obviously.
Right.
The other thing about the 6-party system is it's just going to be a throwback, especially for Suikoden fans.
Yeah.
But I think that this game might attract like Octopath Traveler fans as well.
Yeah.
And then they'll kind of see get pulled in a little bit more to the Suikoden fan side. It's like Suikoden and Octopath Traveler came together and had a baby. Like this,
pretty much.
I think this is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
I really do. I think it's going to be great. I'm hoping it gets a lot of support. Unfortunately, looking online and stuff, it's very polarizing. We either have people like us that are really excited about it, really want to give this a shot because we want to see, even if it's a spiritual successor, we still want to see it there, right? We still want to have that there.
Yeah.
Other people are like, I'm not going to give you my money for something that's not a guarantee. I'm not going to give you my money for something that might not even be on a platform that I own, right? So they're under the impression that it's going to be for the Xbox Series. They give you the money for the Kickstarter, and then they find out it's going to be only PC, or it's only PC and PS5, whichever it may be.
Yeah.
So there's going to be people that are a little, afraid of that. So I think if they were to come out and, start giving like goals, like say, hey, if we get this amount of money, we can release it on PC. If we get this amount of money, we can release it on PS5, and we get this much money, we can put it on Xbox.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if they have more communication out there with everybody, I think you're going to get a lot more people that buy in, and then we can actually see this game come to fruition.
For sure. So this is what we know right now. So right now, their default release is on the PC. That's what we know right now. So now, at the time of this recording, the Kickstarter hasn't been up yet. It's going to be up tomorrow, 9 a.m. for me. I believe like 12 for you.
Something like that, 12:30.
Yeah, so it's going to be up tomorrow at the time of this recording. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be out already, the Kickstarter. So what we know right now is PC release by default. That's what they're going for. So now the stretch goals of that, if they hit whatever the stretch goal mark is, so then console releases are kind of down there. So it's depending how people are willing or not willing to put in the money to be able to see these goals. So like it's depending how big these stretch goals are, whether if it's like 1 million for like PS5 or Xbox, or it's like 500,000 or maybe even less. So it's just depending what we see in terms of the Kickstarter. So like as Luca was saying, there's like a opposite. There's like it's polarizing reaction. People, the fans are just want to see it. The people are going to be more than willing to like give their money to make this happen. And there's other fans that are out there that are more cautious about the Kickstarter part of it, because you have examples like Mighty Number 9. And I think maybe and Indivisible more so, kind of like these games that kind of and you kind of think of Shenmue 3 as well, where people are clamoring for these type of games and like loving the art style and stuff like that, and yet when it comes on release, it's kind of almost lackluster in that sense. So it's you're kind of teetering seesaw, pros and cons of what the Kickstarter thing is. So like whether you want to dive in into the Kickstarter or not, it's going to definitely be up to you. But I know for sure the console editions are going to be behind a stretch goal of some sort. We just need to know how much that stretch goal would need to be in order to see it on either like a PS4/PS5 or the Switch in that sense. But as of right now, we know PC is their destination. We just don't know in terms of this Kickstarter. I think it's going to be up for like, I think about a month and a half, to see where the landscape is going to be looking like. So I mean, we'll see in terms of this Kickstarter part. I'm reading myself in terms of Facebook groups and Twitter and all that stuff. A lot on my end, a lot more are more like I'm throwing money at the screen and nothing's happening. Like I just need this Kickstarter to open. And then there's like a comment here and there saying like I don't know about this. I want more of my Suikoden 6, which it makes sense depending if this Kickstarter actually blows up and like they hit their stretch goal in like a day or something, and then good sales and all that stuff. Maybe Konami will budge a little bit. That's the reaction some people are trying to hope for in terms of like anything Suikoden. But we'll see. The ball's gonna be on Konami's end when they see the results of this Kickstarter and then the sales towards Eiyuden in that sense. So I mean, like, go ahead, Luca. I feel like you're about to say something regarding that.
So, my problem with that, with people just being like, "Where's my Suikoden 6?" The thing is, we can't just jump to that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Konami holds all the rights to Suikoden right now, and they have been silent. They're not budging. So, our only hope is this new series. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to look at this as like, where's Suikoden 6? I'm going to look at this like these artists captivated us once before.
Yeah, exactly.
And they definitely have the ability to do so now. Mm. So worst case scenario, if this game is released, if this game comes to fruition on all platforms and everything, worst case scenario, you don't get Suikoden 6, but you get wrapped up in this amazing new world. Yeah. And I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. I mean, personally, I would really love it if Konami would see the success and literally just, maybe sell the rights to the
original creators.
These creators, the new company, and just be like, here, do what you want with it, and then they could finally either expand on the universe or at least just give us an ending. An ending is definitely something that I want, but I feel like for this to work, people are got to buy in, right? If you're a big fan, you got to buy in, but that's also asking a lot of one side. I think their side needs more communication. Right. They need to give us the goals, right? Like, not just, hey, we got a Kickstarter and there's a bunch of maybes. It's like, how about you show us? Right. If we do this, we can get on PC. If we do this, we can get on Xbox. We do this, we can get on PlayStation. We need these goals and this communication put across to us, and then I think you'll get better results.
I agree with you there. Just wanting that type of communication. We'll see a little bit more of it basically tomorrow, the next day. As I mentioned, like the Kickstarter will probably be out by the time this recording is on public, released on public. But like, I mean, what do you think in terms of think of a number? What do you think is the number for like just console release?
Oh, that's
because we're thinking PS5 now. We're thinking like Xbox Series X in that sense. So
it's unknown because we don't have the communication, right? We don't know where they are in their development, right? If they had the game completely done, right? Say they had enough money to actually just make the game, but they didn't have enough money to do production and all that kind of stuff, it could be actually pretty cheap. Right. To get across all platforms, it might just, be a goal of just like $1 million or something for all we know. But if they need to put more money into voice actors and they need to put more money into actual development of the software itself, anything like that, it could be a lot, right? But if the Kickstarter is only for a month, that lets me kind of, think a little bit. They don't need a lot. That makes me think like they had enough to make the game, but not enough to produce it. If production's the only problem, then I think they just need to throw that out there. Like, hey guys, we just need to be able to produce this. If you help us kickstart this, we can get production across all platforms. It starts with them. It starts with them. They really got to communicate to us. If they just throw the Kickstarter out there, I don't think they're going to get a good response. I think they need to actually let us know. So it all depends on where they are. You know, I hope it's just production.
Yeah, I agree with that too. We'll see. Tomorrow, we'll find out tomorrow. In terms of the Kickstarter and then the stretch goals and like with the levels of how you're able to contribute if you're able to, and then a lot of people are having the running jokes like, let's contribute $108, because but we'll see. Like maybe if you put in more than that, maybe you'll be in the game in that sense. Like maybe be an NPC or maybe be a hero, or you don't never know.
I think everyone that contributes should put in some sort of 108.
Yeah.
If you can just put in $1.
Yeah.
Put in $1.08.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
If you can put $108, that's awesome.
That's
right?
it.
If you can
Yeah.
put $1,008, that's fine too. It's still close enough, right?
Yeah.
I think we should all just do the puns like that for sure, and send a nice little message to them.
Yeah.
But we got to see what they come out with tomorrow. And I don't think this is just going to be a one-day thing. I think they're going to, if they're smart anyway, they're going to release the Kickstarter and then they're going to communicate with us as the Kickstarter goes on.
Yeah.
Tell us how well they're doing and, what the probability is of it releasing on these other platforms and how far along they are in this game.
Okay.
Because we don't really know, right? We don't know how far along they are.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know at all. We'll just see. So, okay, so moving on from the Kickstarter part of it, let's talk about what this game is basically about. So I have the website up here. Let me go ahead and change to that. Let's see. Window and Eiyuden. Okay, so 100 Hero Strong is like kind of like the American translation, the English translation of it. Eiyuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes. So let's see. So what we know about it, Yoshitaka Murayama, creator, senior scenario writer, director. Junko Kawano of Suikoden 1 and 4 is the lead artist. Osamu Komuta from Tactics and Turquoise is just as director. Junichi Murakami, Castlevania, Aria, Sorrow, and Oz. I'm not sure. Producer, art director there. Let's see. Multi Sakuraba of the Tale series is a composer, and Michiko Naruke of Wild Arms series is another composer. So there's you have a team there. I know people are wanting the old school composer to be there too, but I believe they're retired in that sense.
See, thing is, a lot of those games you mentioned were masterpieces. So what this says to me is this could be a dream team.
Yeah,
like this game could be fantastic. Wild Arms was so fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wild Arms 3 was probably my favorite.
Okay.
But Wild Arms was a great gaming series, and if they're involved, that gives me more hope. This sounds like, what this sounds like? This sounds like the Chrono Trigger team.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Some of the best minds came together and are making a masterpiece. We could have a masterpiece in the making here, guys. So that's why I think people need to buy in, man, because this could be an opportunity for us to really get a great JRPG back.
Yeah.
I think worldwide we need a good response. I think Japan's going to have a really nice response. But I'm really hoping the West really kicks into this. I really hope we push for it.
I agree because we definitely need those JRPGs back. I feel like it back in the forefront because that's what kind of got it started in the PS1 era. Let me see. So what we know, let's see. I'm on the main website of keep forgetting it, Rabbit and Bear. It's such a generic title studio. It's like what's this name of the studio again? So
maybe that's a little nod to Victor.
Yeah, right.
Talking about being a bear.
I guess Flick is the rabbit. I guess is that what they were trying to say?
He's pretty fast.
Yeah,
he's fast like lightning.
He's pretty fast. That's true. So like 100 Heroes, you see the characters Noah and I believe Sieg is the other person. Let me confirm that. Wait, nope, that's not it. Have a lot of tabs. Gotta go through all of them. Segan. Okay, his name is Segan. Okay, so let me look for you again. So Noah and Segan seem to be like the main quote unquote characters. Let's see. All right, here we go. So our story begins in one corner of Alran, a tapestry of nations with device cultures and values by dint of sword and by way of magical objects known as rune lenses. The land's history has been shaped by the alliances and aggressions of humans, beastmen, elves, and desert people who live there. The Galdean Empire has edged out other nations and discovered a technology that amplifies rune lenses magic. Now, the Empire is scouring the continent for an artifact that will expand their power even further. It is one such expedition that Segan Kelsling, one of the main characters, a young and gifted Imperial officer, and Noah, a boy from a remote village, meet each other and become friends. However, twist of fate will soon drag them into the fires of war and force them both to re-examine everything they believe is right and true.
Oh boy!
Thoughts?
Wow.
Yeah, what are your thoughts there?
We might be seeing another Joey and Ryo thing here going on.
Right.
You know, great friends from different classes end up being on opposite sides. I would love to see something like that. So I don't know. This sounds fun. This sounds like it's going to be a great adventure.
Yeah.
Put it this way: this game gets released, I'm taking like 2 weeks off of work. And I'm just going to be playing this game nonstop.
Just playing.
I'm telling you, like this sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Story, it's just a little tidbit there, but it sounds like we could have just a classic in the making.
Yeah.
And I really hope that's true. Maybe I'm just being, a little too excited about it, but
I mean you can't help it at the same time, because again, no news about Suikoden all these years, and then directors and people who have worked on the game will chime in here and there talking about it, and then nothing again. And I made this joke when I was doing other podcasts, where every time E3 came around the corner, I was like, I'm waiting another Suikoden announcement. It's gonna happen this year. Didn't happen for till now, and then there's no E3. It just made a weekend announcement basically. But yeah, just reading that, I'm like, okay, Ryo and Joey, Suikoden 2. Suikoden fans know that Suikoden 2 is the actual true Suikoden 1. It was the first story that they created, and then they made actual Suikoden 1 just to get their bare bones down and just get the feeling of how to make an RPG, and then they put out Suikoden 2. So yeah, let's see. Okay, that's talking from Yoshitaka, talking about the game that they're creating. So now let's go ahead and delve into like you mentioned, it feels like Ryo and Joey again. Flames of Wars sounds like it's happening. There's a screenshot that is out there about like one of the protagonists, I think Noah, talking. So it's like he's talking in that screenshot like, hey, you want everything, but yet I'm fighting. You fight because you want everything. I'm fighting because I don't want to lose like anything that I have left, sort of thing. So they are definitely on opposite ends in that sense. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting in terms of like the two ideologies, in terms of like coming from like having this upper class, like I'm a refined soldier, or maybe I'm a aristocrat sort of thing, versus like I'm just somebody from like the boonies, just trying to.
You know what I'm hoping to see?
What are you trying to hope to see?
I hope you get to pick.
Ooh.
I hope you get to pick which
cool.
hero you follow.
Yeah, kind of like a Radiata Stories, where like you can choose to be going with the humans, or if you can choose to be with like the other people, other elves and like worldly
people. Pick your side. Pick your ideology.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
It would be great. 100 characters on each side.
Yeah.
Different characters, completely different story based on who you choose.
And then yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. And then you run into all of them, but you can recruit some, but the others are blocked out due to either ideology, alignment, or for sure.
And then when you your first your first playthrough, you're like, how do I get this character? How do I get that character?
Yeah,
you don't understand because you picked Noah, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you're just like, you get this realization: I have 100 characters, but there's 100 of them blocked out. I can't get that. Oh, wait, I gotta play as the other guy now. It makes replay it makes more replay of the game, and you get to see it from the other side. So we got like a little glimpse of that when it came to Suikoden 3, like a tiny little tidbit when you got to play through as Luke at the end.
Yeah, right.
And you know what? That's my favorite part of the whole story.
Luke's
able
story.
To see Luke's side of it,
yeah.
right? Being able to just see his point of view, and it was only like half an hour of gameplay.
Yeah,
it wasn't a lot, right? But it was enough that made me feel good, and I was like, this is awesome. We got to use Uber, we got to use Luke with his true wind rune, we got all this fun stuff.
Sarah.
But imagine you can actually pick a side, right? Like I always wondered, if they could ever have done that with Suikoden 2, right? You could have picked Joey's side. I mean, no one really would because Joey's an asshole. But I mean, I'm just saying, if you ever wanted to, but that would be fun.
It would.
So I'm hoping both of these characters are extremely likable, and they just disagree on how to change things, and you get to pick. That'd be so fantastic.
Yeah, and depending who you pick, if the opposite person will be shown as a villain, but that would be interesting if you can pick like Segan, but like Noah, like the boony person, just coming from nothing, kind of shows himself like as a villain, kind of like how like you were mentioning about like Suikoden 3, where the Zexan army look like villains. At the other end of that, like it showed like the Karians kind of looking like villains as well, depending on the viewpoint. When you're
correct.
picking
The lizard army killed, they're like ambushed their guys and killed their soldiers and stuff. Another good example, I guess, would be like Gundam Wing. I don't know if you remember that anime.
Yeah.
But Gundam Wing, depending on which character you were watching, they did a really good job of showing you that character's point of view, that character's political side of things.
Okay.
And then anytime they looked at the opposite character, they seemed like a villain until you saw it through their eyes. And then by the end of Gundam Wing, you're looking at it like, there's definitely bad guys in it, but at the end of it, you're like, there's no like true villains. You know what I mean? Like they all just have different points of view, and I think that would be fantastic to see in this game. Each other by the end sees each other as a villain, but then as the player, you can actually go, oh man, there's they just see things differently, and it'd be so cool. That would be cool. Yeah, and it made me think of like the Marvel Comics Civil War, where Captain America was fighting for freedom, Iron Man was fighting for like just registration and let's just work with the government sort of thing. So it's like, it may look like Iron Man is the villain, but really he believes what he's doing is good. So like, you get those different viewpoints, and whether you agree with Captain America or you agree with Iron Man in that sense. But like that would be pretty cool if you're able to pick either Segan or Noah, and then whoever you're picking, the opposite end kind of you see the shades of like the bad guyness of everything, everything that they do in terms of like of a campaign or of a mission. So you got to fight their 100 heroes. That'd be crazy. What I mean? That'd be crazy. Like instead of 108 group being the good guys all the time, you have 100 on each side. And then you got to fight each other, and then it'd be really awesome. As you're playing through as Noah, you start to really love these characters, and then you decide to play as Segan the next playthrough, and then you're forced to like kill one of the other guys that you really like, and you're just like, oh my god, no. I'm so hopeful for this, and it sucks because I could get shot down with this. I could have my hopes. It's always possible. I mean, it's fun to just think about. Oh yeah. Say you get them all early. Then the split happens, and yet the people that you love that's like lean towards the opposite end. Like, oh no, I'm losing them because I picked either Noah or I picked Segan in that sense. So it's like all that attachment is gonna be rough if you're gonna be like, say you're gonna be fighting them and you like say like they die at the end or whatever. But that's all speculation, but like we have until tomorrow to find out a little bit more in terms of the Kickstarter part. But to be able to speculate about the story is that's the fun part. That's always the fun part in terms of like this part of like being anticipating a game release of just and being excited about it. So okay, so let's like again move on towards the characters themselves. So right now I have let me
switch off. Let's see. Take this out and put this. Oh, where are you? Oh, right there. Okay. So right there. So we have little backstory on each of the characters that have been like shown so far. So who we have right now is Noah, one of the characters. He's the one. Noah's the character where he's wearing red. Right now you're seeing, and I don't know if you want to pull it up on your end, Luca, where Noah has like a red sequence outfit. You see the familiarity of like Krill from Tactics, and you also see it from like Rio from Suikoden 2 with the color scheme and patterns. A bunch of belts there on his like his upper chest area, and then you have a one shoulder pad and like like long sleeve protection there with the gloves. And the cool thing is his weapon. So cool thing is he's doing like dual tiger hook swords, which tiger hook swords are not out there in the main public eye, but you recognize it from characters like Cabal from Mortal Kombat. He uses tiger hook swords, and it's more of like a kung fu weapon too. So like and from what I see from the his character portrait is it's bladed on his ends, but like he has like some sort of handle, like maybe bamboo handle around it, sort of thing. So it's kind of like there's some old weapons that are kind of shaped like that, and what they were used for was actually to disarm people that use shields. Right, so if you had a shield wall, they would use it to hook on top of the shield and pull it down. Okay. And then someone with a spear from behind them would stab the person that would have the shield. Okay. So maybe maybe you'll see something advanced like that during the game. Who knows? Yeah. Or they'll just be used as slashing weapons that look cool. Who knows? Yeah. So like right now you can see like the tiger hook swords, the bladed parts is basically the end of the hooks. And then like he has like these what's it called? Kind of like hand protection. There's like a blade of the hand protection of the tiger hook swords. I'm not well versed in terms of tiger hook swords, but that's where I'm seeing like he has the bladed parts of the weapon is, because the non-bladed part seems like it's like it's a non-bladed part. It's not a full blade. It's just the ends of it are bladed in that sense. So. Yeah, well, I'm not saying like these weapons exactly were used to pull down shields. I'm just saying the end of it very much reminds me of those type of tools. Yeah, and then you can use the bottom part of it too as well, because it's pointed as well. So like you have points of like using the weapon in terms of like puncture, slashing, clawing. So we'll see what this looks like in terms of attacks, and you get to see it a little bit when the teaser clip is being played too. Let me show that. I like how his lead arm is armored. Yeah. So like he's the back arm is not. So that means he's going to face with his left hand side forward. I don't know if you ever played Legend of Dragoon, but it's very much like Dart. Yeah. Dart had one armored side to take the brunt of the attacks, while the other one was meant for mobility. And I think this guy's kind of looking that same way. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So what we see in terms of the teaser clip, like I'm playing, like it's like a looping clip of it right now. So like when he's attacking multiple times, and he's attacking from the back row. It seems to be like an ability of some sort, because that does not look like a standard attack, because he hits like, I'm trying to see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 or 8 times on an attack. He's attacking 7 or 8 times. So like, yeah, he may be a speed guy. He may be maybe one of his abilities is just attacking multiple times, maybe like an Omni Slash type of thing. We'll see. But yeah, that is very much Noah in that sense. Let's see. We put this out. Go back to the right there. Okay, so that is Noah. Looks pretty cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so let's read the profile. I forgot we didn't read the profile. So Noah, he's a male, 17 years old. Origin is from a remote village of the Alliance. His favorite fruit is anything with meat. Dialogue line is, Lean would always tell me to stop meddling in others' businesses, but seems there's an incurable illness. I'm going to help whether you like it or not. I don't know if I can help, but I can't stand there doing nothing. So that's kind of like where his sense of being is. Let's see. Noah is a warrior from a remote village. He was hired by the Alliance for a joint mission with the Empire. During the mission, he ends up finding a mysterious artifact called rune lenses. So we didn't even really talk about rune lenses in that sense. Is basically what the rune system is in terms of Suikoden, but considering how this is going to be a separate property, they're going to make their adjustments and maybe even like amplify what a rune was able to do back then in the original Suikoden games. Let's see.
That could be.
Yeah. Little did he know that this event would end up triggering the war between Empire and Alliance. Later on, Noah joins the Guards of Alliance. Okay. And Noah is described as a reckless type of person, acting before thinking of the risks and consequences. He often meddles in other people's businesses, but is still appreciated by his comrades who know they could count on him when it matters most. We don't know who this Liang is yet. So, any thoughts there in terms of his backstory of Noah?
Well, I think it's a little more interesting than our standard Suikoden hero.
Yeah.
Our standard Suikoden hero from like 1 to 4 and 5 was basically they just got guided along, right? So like Suikoden 1, you had like a party of people that it's basically kind of told you what to do along with your advisor.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like yes or no kind of thing. Suikoden 2 was kind of the same. You got along with Victor and a few other guys, and then like they just kind of pushed you along this path.
Yeah.
The only one that was different was 3, because you had these built-in characters. So I think this guy's a little more interesting than the generic character, because it shows that he's got flaws, right? Like the number one problem we would have with Suikoden characters, it felt like they couldn't do anything wrong. Everything they did ended up leading to success, right? Whereas it seems like this guy has some built-in flaws that are going to cause him some trouble as he goes along on his journey. So I really like seeing the character development show through from a character. So I'm excited about that as well.
I definitely agree with that. And just 17 years old, just kind of you're going through the rashness of things and not thinking things through, because that's standard typical protagonist, young teenager kid. So we'll definitely see what Noah does as we go through this game. So let's see, player avatar. Oh, so Noah is basically Noah is the default name, but he can be renamed, of course. So now we're on to Segan. Segan, I'll go through the backstory right now. Segan Kessling is his name. He's male. He's 18 years old, so he's like a year older. He's a year older.
1 year.
Yeah, a year older than Noah. Origin is aristocratic family for the Galdean Empire. Okay, so there goes the opposite end already. And if we get to choose or not to go with Segan or we go with Noah, his favorite food is poached egg. Dialogue line, it says, "This world is cruel and cannot be changed with willpower alone. That's why I swore I would never hesitate to throw away my ideals for a moment, if this would ultimately bring me closer to realizing them." All right. So now it says Segan is the second son of the Kessling family, a talented young man who displays exceptional results at the military academy. He was given a command over a mission with a squadron made of mainly students to look for rune lenses. This is how he met the protagonist Noah. They became friends and told each other's hopes for the future. He is his older brother was killed during battle during a rebellion in a remote region of the Empire. This event changed Segan's life, making him learn the consequences of war. Segan is a strategist who always sees the big picture and is often misunderstood as a cold person. He keeps his emotions and passion in his heart. So, thoughts on Segan there?
Well, I want to point out his design right away. His colors and everything like that.
Yeah.
It very much reminds me of like the Harmonian colors.
Yeah.
Right. Like how Sasarai would walk around with that uniform. Obviously, there's major differences, but there's a lot of similarities there. I definitely like the sword he has there. It's a fun little thing to it. As for his personality, now that I've heard that, I so hope he's the playable character.
Yeah.
I really hope you get to pick between the two of them, because they're so opposite, right? You got one guy that's a young, brash guy that wants to jump into anything and try to help out anyone.
Yeah.
Where the other one is a little more mature and understands how the world works. You know, so I'm hoping, you know, he's cold and collected, where he's not, you know, where he's not brash. I really hope that you can switch between the two of them. If you can, I'm going with him first.
You just want to see.
Yeah, I want to see. You know, I want to see what it goes down. I'm obviously not, you know, saying to everybody that you can do this. I'm just saying I'm hoping you can. And if he is an option, I'm definitely picking him first. I love the fact that it goes into a backstory. It's already pretty deep just by his character bio. You know, showing why he is the way he is. Man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Exactly. No, I totally get it. But yeah, you're right. It definitely looks like a Harmonian outfit with the patches and the belts, and you know, the regalness of his outfit and just his posture and sense. Not showing emotions, kind of cold and calculating. Not really like throwing himself out there and like kind of like in a public space. So he basically keeps to himself in that sense. He has a single sword. Kind of that's basically it. But he seems to be like the genius of his class in that sense. So I mean, Segan Kessling. So we'll definitely see. And I guess so. He is part of the Galdean Empire, from what I understand. And then from Noah, just kind of like being almost like a contractor with the Alliance, as part of an alliance, I guess, with the Empire. From what I gather. So let's see. All right, so now,
so it looks like he's going to be on the opposite side, right? They had two sides that were kind of working together, and it looks like they're going to get into a fight over rune lenses.
Yeah, and then that's where the war begins, and that's where the war, like, you know, blows over in that sense. So, all right. So now we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 5 characters with story and dialogue and backstory. So, all right. So now moving on to Melissa. So let's see. I'll go down the backstory. Melissa is female, 16 years old. Origin is the Forest Guardians. Favorite food is herb chicken. Herb chicken. Dialogue line: ha ha ha! I know everything about the forest, the water sources where rabbits nest, where the enemies would hide to ambush us. Melissa's family acts as guardians, as the guardians of the forest. Thus, she is taught about her own mission as a guardian very early in her childhood. She heartily smiles to her friends, but turns into a true warrior when in battle. The guardians live together with the forest, but do not reject culture and technologies from the outside world, developing independently while incorporating good parts of said external influence. Even among the guardians, Melissa has a very open-minded personality. She likes discovering new things, enjoys and loves anything cute. The guardians have been transmitting from generation to generation special technology when it comes to implanting, when it comes to manipulating rune lenses. As such, both the Alliance, whom the protagonist Noah belongs to, and the Galdean Empire are seeking to ally with the Guardians. Okay. Whoever the Guardians decide to stick with, this will be a major turning point in history. So that is Melissa. Any thoughts there as we pop up the character portrait and backstory?
I feel like your decisions are going to impact these characters a lot. Right? So I feel like they're going to have a lot of decision making. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like based on what they're telling us there on who she is, I feel like if you make the wrong decisions, they could end up against you.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just it's so hard to just determine, you know, from just that little bio. But she definitely feels like she's going to be a more interesting character than we're letting off right now. I think there's going to be a lot more story to that. They're gonna. It sounds like they're almost being a little bit vague about it.
Yeah.
Man, All I know is I'm excited for it. Like, this is this. They didn't have a lot there for her.
Yeah.
They did have a little bit of the whole. She's just kind of a girly girl, a little bit. Like everything cute and everything like that. But I think there's going to be a lot more to her. Okay. Maybe not in an anime sense where she's just kind of an annoying tomboy, but maybe a little bit more important than that. Maybe, a little stronger of a character.
Maybe an Ella.
And I don't mean physically. I mean like in a presence.
Yeah, maybe like Ellie or Mina Bogan.
Yeah. Stronger personality.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like just going by her character design, like she looks great. First of all, another person of color. Like our previous episode, we were talking about the people of color in terms of the Suikoden games. So like she's another one that is up there right there, and just having that like just this design of being a guardian, but like not too like in a hippie sense, but like as the story mentions, like they're open to the external influences, but they're still keeping their ways at the same time. She has like a little pet on her shoulder that looks to be like always sleeping. We don't know. I guess she seems to be more of a mage type, but you did never know as well. So like we'll see in terms of gameplay mechanics, but she definitely looks wonderful. She looks apart, and I believe she also has a dagger on her waist too. So maybe she can get up close when she needs to, but like she can just throw the magic if that's the case, to be more comfortable in that sense. So that is Melissa for that character. So now we're moving on to let's see, Malridge. Let's see. So Malridge is a male, 27 years old, a naturalist is the origin. Favorite food, duck soup. Dialogue line, how about we just surrender? That's the best thing. It's the best thing we can do. It's not an option. That's not an option. Fine then. Let me explain our second best option, how to win this battle. So let's see. A young scholar specialized in natural history. He's incredibly curious and wishes to know the reason behind every little thing's existence in this world. That is highlighted, or that is linked for whatever reason. Behind every little thing's existence in this world. He's also a genius strategist, will often save the protagonist and his friends thanks to his skills. However, Malridge considers war as the most meaningless action done by mankind, thus finds no value in his own talent as a strategist. So
okay, so you got a little bit of Shu in there.
Yeah, right? Little bit of Matthew.
You got a little bit of Matthew there. Yeah. So what I'm seeing from that is he's probably going to be a little bit of comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to have quite a bit of that in there. The other one is, it's kind of a repetitive thing with the whole, the strategist always finds war useless thing.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I think it's kind of needed if you're going to have that much of an overpowered, person in terms of war. You have that good of a strategist. They kind of have to have some sort of something holding them back, whether it's a personality trait or whatever. So I think he's going to be pretty prevalent. I think he's going to be around quite a bit, and he's going to bail you out of situations. He's going to be your MacGyver.
Yeah.
Cool. He's going to get you out of situations.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be other times where you kind of feel annoyed with him for sure, I think.
Yeah, he's going to be... He's going to be that...
I think he's going to be a polarizing character. I think you're going to either love him or hate him.
He's going to be the Usopp of this game from One Piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be a coward, but like he does, like he has the great moments in the anime, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're going back to the teaser clip. Malridge is... You see him in the background. He's doing like calligraphy sense, conjuring up spells like as he's writing. You think of like Sai from Naruto Shippuden, in that sense, where he's like conjuring up like fireballs, and then like doing a combo of them. Like he throws three fireballs out, and then the last one like for like the big hit. So that's interesting, where he's able to write or make art of these things that he wants to bring up, or say, like I mentioned before, the fireballs, like, so he can He can make a maybe make like an ink beast, or maybe make like like a huge wall of defense. So his magic, I guess, or his skill is based off his writing, in that sense, and it shows in his portrait as well too.
So it's kind of like he's summoning almost. Right?
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
how like Latin languages would summon demons, like with their language. But to me, it's actually kind of funny. I always pictured that's how they actually would use scrolls. You know how like in Suikoden 2 you could use a scroll to use like firewall or whatever, wall of flames. So that's actually what I pictured, was them putting the scroll up in the air, because remember like you can only have a certain amount of uses of it.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of pictured it, was them putting a scroll up in the air, reading the scroll, and then the flame coming out of the scroll and the scroll burning up into nothing as it attacked.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
And that's always how I pictured it, and I'm loving the artwork. I'm loving the way it looks like there's combination attacks between both physical and magic.
Yeah. It looks like
I mean, it's just a 22-second teaser there, but it looks to me like you can have combinations of physical and magic, which would be so cool.
Yeah, that would be because like in the older games, like Suikoden games, it's a unite attack it's just basically mainly a physical attack, unless you did the magical unites, and that was a little bit more rare because you had to find the right spells and the right people that have the max level of magic in that sense. So like in this sense, where this is more seamless, where Noah's attacking, then like Malridge final leaves it up, throwing the fireballs. So it all looks seamless. So like maybe if you're able to unite magic with physical, that's an evolution of the unite mechanic that we all come to know and love in that sense. So let me see.
That'd be fantastic.
It would be. Okay, so let me go back here, go back there. So that is Malridge. He has a bunch of he reminds me of, at first glance, he reminds me of Templeton in that sense, just by design and having like all these scrolls or like paper all around him and him riding around. But then when you like really delve into him, like okay, you get like you just mentioned, like you see the Matayu in him, you see the Shu in him, and then like as you mentioned as well, like just being polarizing, where he sounds like he's a coward, but he's actually just being a strategist, just trying to like do like the action that would be like the most successful in terms of the group, in terms of the party. So yeah, that is Malridge. Next we have Gao, who is
of course.
You have a badass looking kobold right there. Kind of looks like oh man, what's his name from Breath of Fire, the first one? Bo. Yeah, he looks like Bo. Yeah. So Gao, male, 32 years old, a warrior from the tribe of mercenaries. His favorite food is pancakes with tons of cream on top. His dialogue line is being a leader and yet standing at the vanguard, rushing in by yourself. Anyone can tell you how stupid this is, but that's fine by me. Life is too short to always be boringly worry about danger. A battlefield veteran, earning his life by participating in many battles. He is born on the battlefield, plans to fight all of his life, and die on the battlefield. The Beast Tribe are considered the most ferocious warriors, and as such, mercenaries like him never run out of work. Mercenary contracts are made on an individual basis, so warriors from the same tribe can often end up fighting each other. Okay, I'm not paid enough. There's like a parentheses. I'm not paid enough for this. I can still bet you my next paycheck that this guy is going to be voiced by Tetsuya Inada. Okay, so that is Gao. So mercenaries, I guess the mercenaries, a warrior tribe of mercenaries. So like I guess his race, or maybe just his tribe, are mercenaries in that sense. It sounds like he's just all about the battle. And yeah, and of course, like all like badasses, like strong badasses, they love sweets, in the most extreme sense. Like his clothing, like it's all tattered up. He just looks like a badass. There's basically much more of a badass more than like the kobolds of old of like with Gengen and Gon and all. And
looks
all
like Gengen on steroids.
Yeah, right. Like he grew up Gengen. Oh man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he looks interesting.
Yeah.
I think he might be more one-dimensional characters, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be the guy that everyone just kind of goes to.
Yeah.
Based on how he looks, and he's going to be. I'd imagine he's going to be pretty good in the combat system. So
yeah, your go-to physical guy.
Maybe there will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll see more of the beast tribes that he's from, and you'll do more story arcs with it, and you'll find more out about his character. Who knows?
Yeah.
But as for what we've seen, I'd imagine that he's going to be pretty generic, but we could be wrong, and I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Yeah. So on the clip, you see that he's basically the first one attacking. He just like 2 slashes, so nothing extravagant on his attacking. But you do notice just by the teaser clip on itself, he is attacking from the back angle. Actually, wait, yeah, he is attacking from the back angle. So maybe if we're still going along the lines of like the short and medium and long range, he would be a medium range character in that sense. Same thing with Noah attacking from the back, and then. Okay. Yeah. Like you said, Luca, just being more of a generic soldier in that sense, but he's probably going to be the go-to physical guy if you get him early, and then we'll see if he's able to stand out once you get to the end game of the game, really, and with his stats and abilities and such. So yeah, that is Gao. Let's see.
There's always a Gao.
There's always a Gao. There's always a Gao
in some sort of JRPG series.
JRPG, yeah, you're right. You are right. All right. So now let's move on to Liang. She is female, 16 years old, a daughter of a family of martial artists. Favorite food: ultra spicy ramen. Dialogue line: don't get me. I don't really get this difficult stuff. But these random guys suddenly invaded us. So yeah, they're bad guys. She left home angry at the Empire invading the Alliance. Didn't think through about what she should do. She figured she'll figure things out by reaching the big city, rushed to one, and thankfully ended up with meeting the protagonist and friends. His family owns a dojo, puts martial arts above everything else, so she was taught how to fight by her father since her childhood. It is said that she's able to jump and kick while being able to walk on 2 legs. Okay. That is Liang, and yeah, I mean this screams like Nanami for me. I don't know about you, Luca.
Screams Yuffie.
Yuffie? Okay, yeah. Screams.
Attitude has a grudge against someone that has declared war on her homeland. Boasts a lot and never really has a clear goal.
Okay, all right.
So I mean, I say that with love though. I love you.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Yeah, for me, it just screams Nanami in that sense. No, I mean, it doesn't really have to relate to, like, the main characters. It's like, oh, yeah, big sister and such. But, like, martial arts dojo, kind of jumping into things in that sense. But, like, I gravitate towards the martial artists myself. I love the hand-to-hand fighters in all the Suikoden games that I've played. So, yeah, she'll probably be in my mainstay party if that's in that case. Unless there's, like, somebody absolutely much better like showcasing martial arts in Eiyuden. But yeah.
Oh, from what I've seen in your playthroughs, you like guys with frying pans.
I do like guys with frying pans. I do like my chefs. I like the nonsensical things. So, and hey, I was shocked to see that Antonio was that strong. When I buffed him, I was shocked. Like, really? I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll keep you. Like, dang, you hit that hard with a frying pan? That's sick. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that is Liang. Let's see. We have, we have one more. Mio, gender female, 27 years old, somewhere from the Far East. Favorite food, salsa dango. Let's see. Dialogue line. Even if you follow a single path, you're the one deciding where that path will lead. Female warrior, following the ways of the sword. She has a stoic personality, often stays silent. Only taking a challenge to fellow warriors to test her skills. Because Mio carefully picks her words, actually. She only speaks when truly necessary, with sharp and pertinent remarks. Let's see. She highly respects her comrades. Sometimes she can be a bit of an airhead, though. Let's see. Okay, that is all the characters. Yeah, that's all the characters. That is Mio.
So other than the airhead part, that kind of, maybe a little bit of Valora in there. Pain from Final Fantasy X2. And, so there's maybe Kika from Suikoden 4. Other than the airhead part, right? But the rest of it there, where she's very stoic and very strong. This is going to be a character I gravitate towards. I always like those type of characters.
Yeah.
That they're strong and they don't have, they're not overfilled with dialogue. So those are definitely my type of characters. Hopefully she's more of an Oron type or something,
Yeah.
But it sounds like a character that I would really enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that there is story to her, but she doesn't have to say too much, right? You see a lot of it in flashbacks, that kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I love the design. Love the samurai look. Just I guess not having the many words to say, but but also can come across as an airhead. But I guess maybe just kind of like that Drax, Dave Bautista type. Nothing goes over my head. I'm way too fast for that sort of thing. Just not getting the joke, sort of thing. So she looks pretty. She looks cool, pretty cool. In terms of the teaser clip, she's way up in the front, so she'll definitely be your close range just attacker. Design looks great. I'm liking it. I was thinking of Genshu, but she's more of testing people's abilities rather than do you have the proper sword Genshu wants to see or take a look at, sort of thing. But yeah, that is what am I looking at? That is Mio, and that is all the characters that are out there right now. Out of all these characters, and hearing the backstory, who are you leaning towards in terms of characters that are out there right now that we know of?
The main two.
Main two? Yeah.
So I'm gonna like Noah for sure.
Yeah.
I like kind of maybe he's more of Hugo type. Very brash, very and it sounds like those type of characters always evolve. I'll like him for sure.
Yeah.
And so probably the main two.
Okay.
And then Mio, is that how you said her name?
Mio, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll like her quite a bit.
Yeah.
So main two and her. The other ones maybe they'll grow on me, but based on their bios, I definitely like those three.
Yeah. For me, it's of course, main two. I mean more so Noah, because I do like that just rash main character that just works things. It just works out in their favor. I like that. Melissa's very interesting because we were just talking about of if whoever side gets to that is able to recruit the Guardians, then that's a big power move in that sense. So having Melissa on your side, that's pretty cool. And just again, the design looks great for Melissa. Malridge I do like as well. He's not that hand-to-hand fighter person, but he can protect himself, and he's drawing. He's basically drawing just to be able to take out his enemies. So that's too there's too much swag there for right there. Just doing that. But probably as of right now, my main go-to will probably be Liang. There's no chefs right now that I know of that's attacking hard hitting. So no frying pans yet. So Liang as of right now is probably gonna be my go-to, because I love the martial arts. I'm always gonna be down with the martial arts. So Gal looks cool. He definitely does look cool. But yeah, like you said, kind of standard beastman. Probably gonna be your physical person in the beginning, but we'll see if he's gonna be more so in the end game. But yeah, Liang's definitely gonna be my go-to. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the information that we know of right now of Eiyuden Chronicles. What are your thoughts at this point, and what are you hoping for? What information we're going to be getting in this Kickstarter, and what are you hoping for as the news starts to slowly come out in terms of this game?
I'm hoping we get a weekly update. I'm hoping they're very transparent with everything, right? So I hope and not just with the money side of things, right? I hope to keep us interested.
Yeah,
they're they throw us a character every week. with a new bio.
That'd be cool.
Hey, there's this character, they do this, but don't tell us, if they're an enemy or, an ally. Just throw the character out. This is their design. This is who they are.
Yeah.
And just, throw it up on Twitter, throw it up on Facebook, get us involved, get people talking, like how with Gao, right? Everyone loved, like, Gao's photo is going around everywhere. Yeah. Everyone loves the way that guy looks, right? Yeah. So, grab a polarizing image, just, grab an image that sticks out, and then just throw it out there. This is who he is, this is who she is. And then, just kind of let people develop the conversation. And then along with that, say, this is where we are in production. This is what we need from you. And this is what you're going to get from us. Every step of the way should be transparent with us if they want this Kickstarter to work. So that's what I'm hoping to see. Right now, I'm not thinking about Suikoden 6 too much or anything like that. Yeah. Of course, it's in the back of my mind. It always is. Yeah. But I'm just focused on this game. This game is what's in front of us, and I think we should enjoy what we have in front of us. We shouldn't be saying, well, I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't say or think, but I'm just saying I think we should enjoy what's in front of us. Yeah. And show our support, and maybe one day you will get Suikoden 6 from this. Or maybe you'll love this story so much you won't mind.
Exactly.
I just got to keep reminding everybody, these specific people have captivated us before, whether they were working on Suikoden, whether they were working on Wild Arms, whichever it may have been, they have captivated us before, and I think they can do it again. So I think we should really, give them our support, and I really want to see them be, very transparent with us, right? Yeah. So I want to see weekly updates on everything. And just let us know what's going on. Yeah, don't be like the Final Fantasy VII crew where they were like, yeah, you're gonna get it someday.
It's coming. Don't worry. Yeah.
And then, then drop like a preview, and then nothing happens for 2 years. Like, don't Final Fantasy VII us.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see transparency. Yeah. And I hope that happens.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I would love to see like a character like a month, as we go through the timeline, or maybe like every couple months or whatever. Since the game is on release of 2022, is that what we're seeing?
Something like that.
So 2021, September. 2022.
September 2022, I think I saw.
Yeah. So, I would love to see that. Just having like a character like every few months. Just to remind people, like, hey, this game is coming out. As in terms of the Kickstarter, I just want to see what these, what the situation is in terms of the Kickstarter, and then what the stretch goals and what we can do in terms of being able to contribute and help out this game in any form or fashion. Like what you mentioned before, like what you mentioned is like people being hesitant. Yeah, sure, it's not the optimal situation of having a Suikoden 6, but maybe this coming out and seeing the result of it, of maybe the sales and the Kickstarter will maybe have Konami start thinking some things. So we'll see. You don't know. But if it gets that ball rolling, great. If not, this is gonna be okay too. If this comes out really good and it just blows everybody out of the water. I guess again, people hoping that's not gonna be a Mighty Number 9 situation. That's always a possibility, but we got to see. We got to see how they handle things as they try to give us updates. Hopefully, like frequent updates, in terms of that. For me in the game, I love the designs what they have right now. I love I love the 2.5D ness of it, the battles is gonna be it's not always gonna be in that flat plane. Like that really sticks out to me. Is like, oh, that's cool. Characters are like either having higher ground or just being in different locations. Is not so much being bunched up as a party going up against enemies. Like everybody has like strategic positions in terms of trying to fight these enemies in that sense. So like the terrain adjustment is definitely a plus for me, and I'm just excited to see what comes out of the news that we get in terms of this game. So that's it for now for Eiyuden Chronicles, 100 Heroes Strong. Guys, let us know what you guys think. Whether you're sending us a comment on the video, or tweet at us at Marco Polo 177 at Luca _Blight. Let us know what you guys think of the news. What are you guys hoping for Eiyuden Chronicles? It's an exciting time, because 2020's been trash, but like this coming out, and being announced, like it makes it a little bit much better in terms of this year. So yeah,
best news we've had all year.
Pretty much, basically it. That is it with us for us here at Stars of Destiny podcast. Let us know what you guys think on the comment section, Twitter. At us. What do you guys think about this news? What are you guys hoping for an announcement? All that stuff. Luca Blight, what are you doing in terms of your channel and content right now, so you can tell us, the people out there, what are you doing, and where can they find you?
Well, it hasn't been a ton of Suikoden content just yet, but I am working on a video that Suikoden fans will enjoy. It's a top 5 villains, my top 5 villains, not named Luca Blight, because of course that would be too one-sided, because we all know that Luca Blight's the best villain of all time, so we don't have to talk about that. But I do have a video coming out. Of course, there will be video of your playthrough going through that, so that'll be entertaining. In any case, I've got a lot of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius videos going up. It's been crazy with their 4th year anniversary. So we got a ton of character reviews out on there, a ton of content in terms of that. We're gonna try to do more Suikoden, and keep your eyes open for us here on the podcast, because I think we're gonna have more news and more things to talk about for sure. So you can find me on. You know what? At me on Twitter. Now, don't just at me. My DMs are open. DM me about this game. I want to talk about this game nonstop. So don't. I saw a meme, from Suikoden fans being like, "You should just delete me because my entire feed is going to be just about this game." I'm cool with that. You guys want to send me a DM? I will gladly talk about this game with you guys all day long. I'm super excited.
There you go.
So come to me at Twitter, Luca _Blight, and I will definitely chat you up about this game. I'm super excited about it.
There you go. So that's Luca Blight. You can find me at Marco Polo 177. That's my main Twitter, and at Nerd in the Bay is the channel Twitter. What we're doing a bunch of videos about fighting games, because I love fighting games. So we're doing Art of Fighting. We're still playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. We are doing Dead or Alive 6 story mode. There's probably something coming down that I'm not even talking about. Oh, Fist of the North Star. I still plan on continuing. I just have yet to do a recording session on Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. Let me see. We have our 8th year anniversary for Nerd in the Bay, so I want to make a podcast about that. Just talk about that eventually. So that's gonna be coming down the line as when I can get some of my guys, my brothers out there to connect, and we were able to just talk it up. But that's pretty much it. You can find me at Nerd in the Bay, the YouTube channel, and then social media is right there at Marco Polo 177, and at Nerd in the Bay on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's pretty much it with us with the Stars of Destiny podcast. Thank you guys for watching or listening, whatever you guys are doing. Stay tuned for more news. And this has been the Stars of Destiny podcast, your only Suikoden and I guess now Eiyuden Chronicle podcast that is out there. So take care, guys. Have a wonderful day or night, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.